So today I will explain how the shear test is conducted on the green molding sand. So the aim of our experiment is to find the green shear strength of green molding sand. So to conduct this shear strength experiment, we need base sand, that is we are using here the silica sand, okay, then binding material clay, that is bentonite we are using here, and also to activate the binding material we have to add the water, because we know that the green molding sand is a mixture of base sand, clay and water. Okay, so why we need a shear strength to the molding sand? Okay, when we pour the molten metal into the cavity, that when it flows into the cavity, that will create a shear force on the molding surfaces, and also while lifting the pattern from the mold, it also creates a shearing force on the surface of the molds. So it is a ability of the molding sand to resist that shear stress, and also it remains stick together. Each molding sand stick together. So that is the property actually we needed in the molding sand. Okay, so as per we have to require to prepare a molding sand specimen, standard specimen, we required one weighing machine we required, and also the another one is here it is a sand rammer. This sand rammer is using for making of a standard specimen of known diameters and known height. And after the specimen preparation, we need to conduct experiment one universal strength machine we are requiring here. So these are the main three equipments. One is the weighing machine, another one is the sand rammer, and also another one is the strength machine, means universal strength machine is required. So as per we have to prepare a specimen of a known parameters, and also here this experiment is split into two parts. So we know that ingredients of the molding sand. The molding sand we are using base sand, clay and water. So here keeping the one content constant and remaining parameters we have to vary. So we have to find the effect of water, effect of clay content on the shear strength of the molding sand. So in the first part we are keeping the 5% of water constant and we are varying the percentage of clay. So we have taken here 3 readings. So tabulate them, and at least to plot the graph we need 3 to 4 readings. So another half portion means another part we are keeping the percentage of clay constant, that is 6% constant, and we are varying the water 4, 6, 8. And according to that again the base and percentage also goes on changes. So 3 readings here, 3 readings here. After the tabulation, then what graphs to be plotted I will explain later. Before that I will show you how to prepare a specimen by using all these combinations. Okay, let's I will show the one specimen making here. So you have the weighing machine here, take a tub like this and put on this. Okay, now make it 0, So as per the first reading, the first tabulation column, we are adding the 182 grams of base sand, 8 grams of clay and 10 grams of water. So this is the base sand, silica sand we are using here. As per the readings, we have to add 182 grams of base sand. Okay, so 182 grams of base sand. Now another ingredient, that is the clay, bentonite. We are adding 8 grams of bentonite. So make it 190. Okay, now I added the clay percentage. Now it is a 190 grams. Now so before adding the water, dry mix properly for 3 minutes. In industries, the mullers are using for the mixing of this, because uniform mixing is necessary to get a uniform composition throughout the mold or throughout the specimen. Okay, so like this, we have to mix for 3 minutes. Since the quantity is very less here, so I think it is enough to mix in here. Now the another ingredient, we have to add water of 10 grams. Okay. Now this is the 200 grams of molding sand we are preparing now. Now again mix it for 2 minutes for proper mixing of all the ingredients, that is the base sand, clay and water. So mix it for 2 minutes. The proper mixing should be done. Okay, you can use spoon or you can use your hands also for a proper mixing like this. Okay, mix it properly. The mixing should be very careful because the proper composition is necessary. Okay, now it is ready. 200 grams of base sand. Now here, for preparation of a specimen, we required 162 grams of molding sand to get 50.8 mm diameter and also the 50.8 mm height of specimen as per the American Foundry Society. Okay, so AFS standard says that to conduct a test on this molding sand, you have to prepare a specimen of known diameter, that is 50.8 mm. Okay, now this is 162 grams. So this is actually found by trial and error method how much quantity of molding sand we require to get an exact shape and the exact size of the component. Now I will show you. This is the specimen tube. This is the specimen tube. The diameter of this specimen tube is 50.8 mm. Then this is pedestal. Okay, so pedestal, on the pedestal place this specimen tube like this exactly and hold like this. Okay, now you transfer this complete molding sand into this specimen tube like this. Okay, so after shifting all this molding sand into the specimen tube, so now we have to ram it thrice. Okay, so this is the sand rammer. Here known weight 65 to 70 kg weight is loaded here. This is the dead weight, and this is the lifting cam. This is the rotating cam. Okay, we have to place this specimen tube below the flanger like this. Okay, so care should be taken. The specimen tube should not be tilted. It is exactly perpendicular. Okay, now hold like this and now operate this lifting cam. So leave the weight in the specimen tube. The plunger should be insert like this. Now we are operating this rotating cam to lift the weight and again fall it freely on the specimen like this. Now the once one ramming is over, then second. Okay, so after the thrice of ramming, check for the height of the specimen. So the flanger rod top surface, check here the scale. The scale is given here plus or minus 0. Okay, so if the top surface of this flanger rod is within this limit, it clearly indicates that the specimen inside the specimen tube is a 50.8 mm height. Okay, now the reading is correct. Now by lifting the cam, you just lock the weight like this and take the specimen tube outside. Okay, now to remove this specimen, use this is the stripper. This is the stripper and placed like this, placed like this. Now you just insert its specimen tube and just push this. Okay, so we got a specimen of green molding sand. The diameter is 50.8 mm and also the height of the specimen is 50.8 mm. Okay, the two parts over now. Now the last part of this conduction is, so conduct a test on the universal strength machine. Okay, actually these are the pads or shackles. Pads or shackles. These shackles are different for different tests. Since we are conducting the shear test, we have to use these shackles. Okay, the compression shocks are plain. Okay, so students should be take care. The shackle should be changes depends on the different test. Now fit this like this. Okay, now place the specimen in between these two shackles and the specimen should be rest on these pins like this. Okay, so place like this. Now check for this dial gauge. Here the one dial gauge is given, so check for whether the dials are at 0 degree. Okay, 0. So here three scales are given. Innermost is the tensile dial, middle one is the shear, last one is the compression. So we are conducting the shear test. Now we have to check the readings of the middle one dial gauge. Okay, now this is inside there is a arrangement, piston and cylinder arrangement, that is the plunger. To apply pressure means we know that shear stress is nothing but equal and opposite forces acting on the both side on the specimen at neutral axis. Means always the rupture takes place at the parallel to the axis of the specimen. Okay, so now we are applying very slowly, gradually the pressure. That pressure will move the plunger inside the cylinder and it will creates the force on the both shackles. Okay, rotate it very slowly. Okay, now the specimen cracks like this. See here, the rupture takes place. The forces which we are applying parallel to the axis of the specimen. The crack also here. See, this is the parallel to the specimen axis. Now when it ruptures, you check for the dial gauge reading. We are looking middle gauge. Now this is in between exactly 1 and 2. So here reading is 1.4. 1.4 is nothing but 1.4 into 100. So multiplied by 100, which will give the shear strength of 140 grams per centimeter square. So this is the first reading we are conducted here. So I will write the reading on the board. The first reading is 140 grams per centimeter square. So I just showed how to conduct one trial by using this composition. So students, you have to conduct a test in the similar manner. You just change the composition. 178 grams base sand, 12 grams of clay, again the 5% of water constant. Conduct a test and note down the reading by the dial gauge and write down. Okay, same manner again third reading. Okay, so since we are already conducted the test, so I will write the readings directly here. This is 180 and this is 220 grams per centimeter square. So I just tabulated the three readings here. So in the same manner, in the second part, keep the percentage of clay 6% constant and vary 4, 6, 8% of water vary. Same, you have to follow the 162 grams of molding sand you have to prepare, put it into specimen 2, again ram it thrice, don't repeat 4 or 5 times. For all the specimen you have to ram it thrice only. Okay, keep it in mind. Then again I will write the readings here. So this is 180 and 140 and 120. So these are the readings already we noted. by conducting the experiment. You have to follow to conduct the experiment in the examination. You conduct all the readings and also take the readings and tabulate them. Now, why actually it is required shear strength? If shear strength is not good enough, the collapsibility occurs in the molding sand. If shear strength is not good enough in the molding sand, during the pouring of the molten metal, also while lifting the pattern from the cavity, there may be chances of collapsing of the surface of the mold. So this property is very important in the making of molds. So after tabulating all the 6 readings, for the first 3 readings, you have to plot the graphs. Plot the graphs. First graph shear strength versus percentage of clay. Then second graph shear strength versus of water, because we are wearing the clay, wearing the water. So this is the nature of graph. Okay, shear strength take in y-axis, percentage of clay in x-axis. So whatever the points you are noting here, you just take a proper scale and plot the graph. Then second, again by considering these 3 readings, take shear strength on y-axis and the percentage of water on x-axis. Just log these points on the graph sheet and plot the graph. It is a nature of graph. Okay, so this is the shear strength conduction. Already we plotted the graph here by these readings. See, the first, it indicates that as the clay percentage of increases in the molding sand, the shear strength of that molding sand goes on increases up to the 8% of clay, whatever the readings were taken. So because when we vary the means increase the clay percentage, the bonding between the grain to grain increases due to the binding capacity of the clay. Then in the second graph, as the percentage of water increases from 4, 6, 8, okay, at 4 is high, again 6 it reduces, 8 is reduces, because at a known quantity of water, the binding material act as a gel formation, but again when we increases the water, gel is converted into liquid state. That's why what happens, the strength of the molding sand goes on decreases, it easily ruptures when we increase the water content. Okay, so this is the final conclusion of this experiment. If we increase the waters more than 6%, then shear strength decreases, and also up to 8% or 10%, as we are going to adding the clay percent, the shear strength of the molding sand increases. So this is the final conclusion. So dear students, in the examination you conduct at least 3 to 4 readings and tabulate the readings and plot the graph like this. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Thank you.